Hello guys, we are back again with One Football as they cover the biggest tournament in the world. Of course, it's the Football World Cup. And that's not all. One Football are going to be providing you with in-game live ticker information. They're also going to be telling you the head-to-head results between the two teams for the last 5 years, along with all the usual lineups and much, much more.
So guys, what are you waiting for? Head to the link in the description and download the One Football app.
Hello guys and welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer. We do apologise that there hasn't been as much content lately. We've both got things going on and it's really hard with the World Cup because there's so many people doing so much content. But I had to do a video on this because England did the business last night. A very convincing 3-0 win over Wales, which has prompted me to talk about our next opponents, and that is Senegal. And I do believe a team that we should not be sleeping on. Guys, before I jump into it, do me a favour, hit that like button and subscribe as usual if you are new here. Guys, let's jump into it right away and actually talk about England's round of 16 game against the AFCON winners. Of course, Senegal beat Egypt in the final of the African Cup of Nations earlier this year. Well, at the very start of the year in January. I think that's worth mentioning for obvious reasons. What's also worth mentioning, a lot of people don't talk about this. Yes, they are the AFCON winners of the last tournament. They did get to the final of the AFCON Cup of Nations in 2019. So it wasn't, although this is their first ever win in the competition, it's not like they haven't been there before. This team has been together for quite a while, back-to-back finals in their version of the Euros or the Copa America. It's an unbelievable achievement. They came second in their group. Of course, Ecuador was there, Qatar and the Netherlands. This team really does know what they're doing. They're no slouches. I think that's worth keeping in mind. They did come second with 6 points. They scored 5 and conceded 4. I think that's something that England do need to focus on. Senegal can put the ball in the back of the net, but they do tend to concede a few as well. Another thing that I think is worth bearing in mind is that we know that they're a pretty good outfit, but did you know that they're currently 18th in the world? That I had to double and triple check that when I found it out. Senegal are ranked 18th in the world by FIFA. So, of course, there's going to be a lot of nations out there, probably ranked lower than them, that historically you'd look at and go, oh, they're much better than Senegal. But we can't base it on the past. We have to base it on now. And this is a good team. They do pass the ball well. They move. They do not stop running. We saw that against the Netherlands because let's not forget, although they did lose 2-0 to Holland, it was 0-0 in the 83rd minute. They did get the breakthrough, the Dutch, in the 84th minute, and then they scored deep into injury time. But it was 0-0 late on in the game. I think the scoreline slightly flatters Holland. This team knows how to play. I don't think England should be resting on our laurels when it comes to Senegal. What have we got? Well, we've got this man at the moment. What a resurgence in his career for Marcus Rashford. It's unbelievable. That freak... Don't know what that was. I do apologise. That free kick last night was unbelievable. I almost looked away. I think I was on my phone when he was about to take the free kick, and that's a little bit disrespectful. I know I'm not the only one. So if you're sitting there judging me, do not pretend you've never said anything bad about Marcus Rashford's playing ability, because none of us expected that last night. I can imagine up and down the country and England fans all over the world when they saw that starting 11. Group chats galore would have been, oh God, what's this? Gareth's lost the plot. He's not playing Foden. He's starting Jordan Henderson. And now we've got this. Well, do you know what? He silenced his critics and it's fully deserved. I think the second goal is just as good as the first goal for different reasons. The first goal is just an unbelievable strike. You could say that Ward should have done better. But the second goal was amazing. It had a little bit of everything. The build-up play from England, the skill, the trickery, and the finish from Rashford was unbelievable. And it brings us on to this man, Phil Foden. He gets his first start for England. We all expected him to actually start the tournament. We played the game against Iran, and of course it's gone back to the Sterling and Saka from the Euros. Of course, Foden started the Euros and lost his place to Saka. But I think we all thought it was going to be Sterling, Saka, Sterling, Saka, Sterling, Saka, at least until the knockout stages. Maybe then Gareth would start to change things. But I think we all thought, if we do go 3 of 3 in the groups, why would he change it? And you couldn't really argue if Gareth didn't at that point. If he gets 9 points and we get 3 convincing wins, you can't really have a go at him for sticking with them. But he made changes after that bore fest against the USA. One of the worst games for England I've seen in a long, long time. I don't watch England friendlies, but certainly at a tournament, it was very, very poor. You've got to go back to Iceland, probably. But this man, he was so good last night, I thought. I was still frustrated because he was playing on the right. He never plays on the right for Manchester City. He plays centrally or predominantly on the left. And if he's not on the left, he does drift into that more central role. He doesn't play on the right. And we saw with his goal, it came from the left. Harry Kane puts a ball in from the right, and Phil Foden is there at the back post to nod it in. And one little thing I do like about that goal, if you haven't seen it, go watch it back. Jude Bellingham runs off celebrating before Foden's anywhere near the ball. He knows he's going to put it in the back of the net. Just a little bit of a nugget for you if you want to go and check that out. I think it's brilliant from Bellingham. He's just a baller, isn't he? But no, I think Foden has to play. For me, I don't see the lineup changing for the Senegal game now. I think it's certainly Marcus Rashford. I would go as far to say Rashford will be the one of any of our wingers that is definitely going to start over Foden, over Saka, over Jack Grealish, and of course Sterling. For Foden, for me, he's unbelievable. I think he's one of the best players in the Premier League. I think personally he has to play. He may have spells where he's not doing much, but you know that you can say that about quite a few England wingers. For me, he has to play. Do you start him on the left? Again, it's hard to say because of the victory last night. But for me, I think you kind of have to. I don't want to go changing it too much because then you turn around and say, well, why did Gareth change it? You know, but I think if he plays, as long as him and Rashford play, I'm happy with that. And we come on to this man, the last man, the most important man, you could argue, Gareth Southgate. It's funny, isn't it, with Southgate? And this is so English. We beat Iran 6-2, football's coming home. We draw to the USA, we're rubbish. We're probably going to get knocked out in the last 16 against the Senegal or the Netherlands. And then after last night, everyone's saying it's coming home again. It's just so England. Fair play to Gareth. He made changes. He brought Henderson in, and a lot of people don't like Henderson. They've almost got football amnesia, which is weird because it was only 2 or 3 years ago he was winning PFA Player of the Year, winning leagues and Champions Leagues, getting to Champions League finals. I think he's been to 3 Champions League finals. We've got to start giving Henderson a little bit more credit. He gave the ball away a few times last night. He does that thing where he floats the ball aimlessly into the box without really any target in mind. I don't like that, but he's a workhorse. His heat map was unbelievable against Wales. He really did cover a lot of ground, and he does a lot of the things that do go unnoticed. I think Gareth may change it, though. I've got a funny feeling we may see Phillips start this game. He came on yesterday. He hasn't played a lot of football this season for City or for country. I think he did play his first start of the season against Chelsea in the League Cup. game, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. But I've got a funny feeling we might see Bellingham in that more advanced role that we saw him in against Wales. And I think we might see Rice and Phillips next to each other, just in front of Stones and Maguire. I do think we're going to see Kyle Walker right back again. I think obviously Luke Shaw is going to play a left back, and I do see Kane, Rashford, and Foden starting. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you convinced that England are without a doubt going to get past Senegal? I think we are the clear favourites. That doesn't mean I think it's going to be easy. I think the odds of England losing this game will not be good. So the odds will be good of us losing. They won't be good if you want to put money on us getting a win or getting through at least. I don't think we should sleep on Senegal, but I'd be very surprised if we don't win. I'm going to give a prediction. I wasn't going to. It just came to me off the top of my head. But you know what? I think I'm going to say 2-0 England. I think we keep the clean sheet. And I think we get a couple of goals. Who knows? Maybe another Rashford free kick. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the first free kick scored of the World Cup by England. England. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I think that was the first direct free kick scored of this year's World Cup. Come on, England. Guys, do me a favour, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know your score predictions or your thoughts about England or Senegal in the comments. Have a good day. Stay safe. Enjoy tonight's games, and we'll see you soon. Take care.